If you had to describe Mr. Raine in 3 words, what would you use and why?
He's inspiring, hardworking, and extremely dedicated.
Determined, organized, and considerate. He writes everything out on the whiteboard. He keeps our team in check and makes sure we know what we have to do. And he also cares about our opinions and takes everything into consideration.
Mr. Raine is very forward-thinking. He's always thinking about the next thing, the next way that our team can help other peoples in the area and around the world as well. He's very ingenuitive. We've done a lot of programs. We've gone to the UN. We've gone to Washington, D.C. to advocate for these after-school STEM programs, and we've helped out the farm. We've just done a lot of great things that he's helped immensely in.
Dedication, precision, and leadership.
Tell me something about Mr. Raine that other people wouldn't know.
He always helps and tries to help in different situations, no matter how emotional and complicated they may be. He makes sure that each of the kids on the team know that they can talk to him and get their situation figured out. He always likes to help.
He's very hardworking. You can tell that he's constantly thinking about how he can impact the community. He's just a great leader and very, very involved in helping the students grow and helping the team move forward.
I think I've learned a lot about just how to incorporate so many various ideas into one. I think he does a really good job of taking all of our ideas and then making it into a cohesive unit.
He likes jokes a lot more than he seems on the surface level, but he's actually a really fun guy.
It is our distinct honor as a West Hills community to nominate Mr. Mark Honeyman for the Bloomfield Hills School District's Distinguished Service Award. And yes, the image of the child on the screen is Mark when he was a newborn. With the birth of every child, we hope that they will find their purpose. In Mr. Honeyman's case, it became clear early on that he was meant to be a teacher. As a teacher, he's been instrumental in inspiring his students to not only passionately pursue their purpose, he has done it in a way that exemplifies the Bloomfield Hills mission statement.
I would say Mr. Honeyman is empathetic. He's always looking out for the well-being of the students. He's admirable. We can look up to him as a person and a teacher. I would say he's the consummate English teacher.
When I hear Mr. Honeyman's name, I think of compassionate, determined, and comforting.
I would say he is selfless, cheerful, and considerate.
Mr. Honeyman is dedicated, iconic, and a father figure.
If there were 3 words to describe Mr. Honeyman as a teacher, I would say he's reassuring, supportive, and understanding.
Someone who knows Mr. Honeyman has been a student of his and works with him as a colleague. I know him to be very kind at heart, very considerate, and very passionate about children and what he does.
3 words to describe him are extraordinary, welcoming, and loving.
Mr. Honeyman is inspiring, a leader, and indescribable, because there's so many words to describe him, but you can never list all of them.
I was asked to explain 3 words that describe you. The first word that came to my mind was compassionate, but then when I looked it up to try to get a better word, I realized that every single one of these synonyms, sympathetic, empathetic, understanding, caring, concerned, sensitive, tender-hearted, thoughtful.
I feel like Mr. Honeyman developed such a great connection with his students in the classroom and outside the classroom. I know that when I ever needed something outside the classroom, I could always email him, and I know that he would help me no matter what the circumstances were.
Mr. Honeyman was a great teacher, and he really helped me learn. And I also loved going to the comp meeting meetings that he and his wife held, and it really made me feel closer to him.
Mr. Honeyman was such a memorable teacher and mentor because all of the vocab and writing skills he taught us I still use today.
He taught me not only what it means to be a good student, but also a good person. And I know today if I still had a problem, I could solve it.
Mr. Honeyman was the best teacher I've ever had. He was so amazing in every way, and I learned so much from him.
The 3 words that come to my mind are dedication. He's available at night by emails and everything else. Compassion. He's got one of the biggest hearts that I've ever seen. And integrity.
So I would say 3 words that describe Mark, Mr. Honeyman, would be passionate. He's very passionate about his subject matter, very passionate about teaching. I would say dedicated is one of the words. He's very exceptionally dedicated to his students. and to his craft. And I would say the other one would be supportive. He's exceptionally supportive to the families at West Hills and to the students at West Hills, and has been so for all 35 years of his career.
Mrs. Parker is one of the most exceptional educators that I've ever seen. She has a unique gift and skill set that she can reach the needs of every single child in their classroom. A kid walks into that room and they feel welcomed and loved, and as a coworker who's been in multiple roles working with her, I feel the same exact way. There's not one other person that I would nominate for this award.
As a teammate and mentor, Angie has been a phenomenal role model to me and what it means to foster to the needs of every child and welcome each child into her classroom. She's constantly pushing herself to be a better educator and to be even better in every single way. She's always trying new things and willing to take risks if it's going to be best for the needs of the child.
I've had the opportunity to work with Mrs. Parker as a coworker and also as a parent. My daughter was in her classroom and she had a wonderful experience. She always came home telling me about how great Mrs. Parker was and how they got to try new things. And I am in Global Champions right now with Angie, and she just brings so much to the table, and she's so open-minded, and I've learned a lot from her.
I have interacted with Angie as a teammate in first grade and also as a parent. My son is in first grade with her right now, and there are many times in teaching where you encounter challenges, and she was always the person that I could go to and express a need or express a concern, and she was always there no matter what. As a parent, you hear things come home from your students, and you think, oh, that's great, they're exploring this, or they have observations that they're doing, and I've heard all the vocabulary coming home and I've been impressed, but what I've been most impressed by with Angie is that my son loves learning and he feels like he is in charge of his own learning experiences. So when it was his birthday this week and we had to get a present for students in the classroom, he thought, we're studying plants, and what better gift than to buy everyone seeds. And so he purchased seeds for every member of his classroom and then an observation booklet so they could write down some things that they noticed. This is just one small example of how she inspires her coworkers and her students to be lifelong learners.